constantly being developed, but this is the rollout of it. I think we'll start first by kind of saying, who are these people? What is this? What's the lens to see this through? So there is a third partner whose name is Joe McKenna. And Jake, you're familiar with Joe.
Yep.
Joe, actually way back in the beginning, here in this community with Pre-Employ, if you guys are familiar with Pre-Employ, he worked as their IT professional, built out their entire stack. And if you're familiar with the stack they have and the tech they have, it was pretty substantial at the time. So he's very tech savvy. He took it upon himself, and I met him at the Shasta Venture Hub when I was starting my agency, AdForce Local. And we really connected because he was in that same space, and I actually worked with him, and he provided services, some of the services for some of my clients at that time as well. SEO and just all the basic things for digital marketing. Jake, as a matter of fact, was somebody who came up through Cloud Potential, which is an educational arm of the companies that he operates from. And he would actually produce training that would generate people who could actually do the work that people are paying now. And quite a few years ago, he took on Jake as one of those people who was a student, and Jake had a lot of acumen for this and was really taking it on, doing well. So Joe kind of tapped him and said, how would you like to work for me? I'll really accelerate your education and kind of get you into a place where you could be very valuable in the marketplace. And so Jake has been working with Joe ever since, and they have their other ventures as well. The reason I bring up Joe is when he and I originally, about 7 or 8 years ago, started to collaborate and talk, we kept asking ourselves, how long is it going to take for small to medium-sized business owners to really kind of figure this thing out? You know, just the basics. When you think about your online presence, if you ask most business owners or people who have some stuff going on, they have a business, they have a need for this, it's very erratic. And I think part of that is because they're all coming at it from different places. So whereas there's and back then, about 8 years ago, it used to be very expensive if you wanted to have a website built. Well, you'd have to hire somebody who had those skills. And the platforms were not too user-friendly yet to allow a person to do this kind of on their own. So it was very expensive, very black box. These people had secret knowledge. And I've heard so many stories of businesses that would pay $25,000. Wow. And it would take a year or two, and it was never quite done. And it never really performed. And when it was done, they really didn't know exactly what it was supposed to do for them, but it looked really cool. And so that's not a good place to be. And so a lot of people spend a lot of money trying to figure this out with good intentions. And it became clear to us that really what was needed was not another tool so much in the marketplace, it was direction. And so small to medium-sized business owners got a roadmap and a clear picture of, I'm fine with spending time and money on this because I get that I need to be competitive in the marketplace. This is where everything is going, and it is, obviously. The question was, where do we get access to that stuff? So I wanted to ask you guys, since we have the resource of business owners and people in the space out personally, how did you guys arrive at the strategies or what it is that you do have online? And let's just start with Josh.
Sure, well, I'm working with you guys, so I didn't have really any personal knowledge or understanding. I mean, it's growing, obviously, by being part of working with you guys, and especially now working with Jake on a monthly coaching type scenario. But yeah, I mean, I want to make sure that my business, that Aflac specifically, has a local presence that people, when they type in on Google Maps or type in the internet, Aflac, or especially Aflac North State, that they're going to be able to find us at the top so that they can find us. Like, you know, like we need to be found. Like if they can't find us, that's a problem, at least from my perspective as a business owner. And someone local with such a big national company, like everyone can find Aflac.com, but that doesn't serve me or my team or any of us locally, because Aflac.com isn't going to come back to us. Like 1 out of a million, it'll come back to us. Very, 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 very rarely will Aflac.com ever come back to us. So we need to make sure that they're finding us here, boots on the ground in the North State, and can reach out to us, because otherwise it's not helping us at all.
And you've got probably social media platform, so Facebook.
Yep.
Not running any ads, I don't think, on Facebook.
No paid ads or anything right now, but we have all those things. We have a Facebook page, we have a Google, now we have our own Google business location and reviews, which is great. So we'll just continue to build on that so that when people look for us, they can find us and know who we are.
Gotcha. And really quick, Chris.
Yeah. So Josh is light years ahead of me. I'm probably the old guy in the group, so I really don't like to spend my extra time on computers. I'd rather be fishing or playing or working in the yard or something like that. So I've never really been inclined to spend a lot of time, because I'm already on the computer working with clients all day long, and I didn't really wanna, and I almost feel like you're puffing to a certain extent to, say what you've done, that's great lately type thing, and that's, has a lot to do with my not really understanding the platforms and how to get get that online presence. And so that's what I'm here for today, because the thing that we used to do was yellow pages.
Yeah.
Right?
Sure. Yeah, still do.
And back then.
And I'm gonna stop my yellow pages this year. I've trimmed it down to just my name now. I used to put in what I did and all those different things, and it used to drive. But the interesting thing is, over the last 3 years, it hasn't paid for itself. And so I just decided, I made the call that I'm gonna end that. And so, and then, I get on my phone and I look for mortgages, and I'm nowhere to be found. Okay, so that's a problem. And so, kind of like along the lines of what Josh said. And so that's my whole reasoning is to, and then as far as that's my whole reasoning for being here.
Gotcha.
And trying to learn about that. As far as my website, I've got somebody who I trust that I've worked with for 15 years, and he is a IT guy, and so mine is not a fancy website, but it's a functional website.
So you've got a piece out there.
Yeah.
What's the name?
You've got a
of
piece
your-
out there. You've got a website. So
Right,
that's one of the pieces.
right. But as far as the social media pieces and all those different things that help you develop the clicks or whatever you need to climb the online ladder, I don't know how to do that, and that's why I'm here.
Great.
Excellent.
Remind me the name of your brokerage.
It's Accelerated, ACCELE
Mortgage.
RATED, Mortgage Services.
First thing I'll say off, totally candid, if you had 100 business owners in here, so even including those that you would consider to be the really tech savvy, on top of it, these guys are the winners and dominating their category, you'll probably find that only about maybe 2% of them really have a conceptual grasp on the work that needs to be done, separate from what they actually have in place. So it's not as if where you're at, you missed the boat, it's too late. Because when those initial conversations I had with Joe, or how long will it take for small businesses to figure this out, at that time, it was about 7 years ago, I remember saying, I don't know, I think we probably got about a year or two.
Yeah.
And he says, no, I thought that too about 2 years ago. and here it is 7, 8 years later, and we're still kind of in that same place. One of the big differences though, is that unlike back in the day when it would cost so much money and it was so black box, the industry has started catering to the do-it-yourselfer in this space and providing tools like you see in Wix and various other things like this, making it a little bit more plug and play and easier for a person if they took the time, but you still need direction, right? And so what we've done, essentially, and what you're gonna see us demonstrating here, is, I'm not sure whether that happened.
Good news is you show up on Google Maps, you have 2 5-star reviews, and your website's linked. So that's all good.
All right.
That's a great starting place.
I don't know why this just happened.
Because if that's not there, that's a big problem.
That's a good song,
You
though.
know, be found when
Sorry.
people search for you on Google, so that works great, and you have perfect, there's only 2, but it shows up right away, 5-star, you have 2 5-star reviews, and your website is linked to that Google page, so that's a good thing.
Okay, good.
So at least we can find you, and your website has your address and phone number, so that's all good stuff.
So just to kind of cut to the quick, what we're going to be exploring today is what you're seeing actually on the screen. This is a video that in fact is embedded in this. This is a platform that we put together which acts as a roadmap. And in short, a business owner or person can log into this. And with the assistance of the roadmap, you see the various checkboxes and various pieces. There are 3 main pieces to this. I want to show you a quick video piece first to set this up. This is Joe, and it kind of sets us up with kind of where this came from and why we're doing this.
I know everyone viewing this video
spent, or maybe you would say wasted money on digital marketing tactics they didn't understand, but thought they were supposed to do. They didn't know how to tell if it was working and didn't get what they expected. So here's the truth. Marketing is complicated. There is no one size fits all. Customers use the internet in every decision-making process. Experts know what worked for them, but not what will work for you. If you don't put the internet to work for you, it will work against you. Monsters like Amazon have unlimited money to make it work for them. All your marketing funnels customers to your competitors. But here's the rest of the story. Powerful websites like Google, Bing, and countless others give local companies the advantage over the monsters. Savvy companies don't spend ridiculous amounts of money on websites anymore, and they don't regret spending money on advertising. Now, how do you get from frustrated and disappointed to confidently marketing your business? I spent 12 years and over 26,000 hours figuring out that answer. I developed a strategy and roadmap to put companies back in control of their marketing. And I want you to be able to ask the right questions, understand which steps to take, when to take them, get results you understand from digital
That's Joe, by the
marketing, manage marketing talent and experts from a place of authority. How do I know you'll be able to do all this? Because 12 years ago, I had no idea how this worked. I dedicated myself to figuring out how marketing changed and what we could do about it. I made every possible mistake. I spent endless nights going down marketing rabbit trails. Eventually, I started to notice certain things fitting together. There was order to what seemed like total marketing chaos. In 2016, I launched Cloudwise Academy to share what I learned with local companies. My mission is to put you back in control, but there's no way around the fact you have to put the internet to work for you. I learned the hard way so you don't have to. My team and I will explain it how I wish it had been explained to me 12 years ago. It's gonna be hard work. You'll have to get outside your comfort zone, but you're a business, so that's nothing new to you. We developed the Smart Marketing 1-2-3 strategy and roadmap to guide you, the coaching app to keep you on track, an easy to use website builder so you can build your dream site faster and better than pros do. Low cost, accelerated marketing workshops so you learn what you need quickly and get back to work. We train and certified a marketing agency so when you need help, you get the right help. And we partnered with the Chamber of Commerce to offer free marketing workshops.
I'm gonna pause on that. So this is out in Tennessee, and there are a few chambers this has been rolled out with, and that is reflective of the relationship with that chamber. And that's something that we would like to develop. It's not in place now, so I don't wanna falsely represent anything that we've talked about.
And this is kind of like today's meeting is sort of seeing what you guys think about this and giving feedback to Scott, right? And to Jake, I believe, right, Scott?
Yep,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Ready to get started? Are you? William's gonna explain the Smart Marketing 1-2-3 strategy and roadmap and how to use it. Let's.
So that basically kind of encapsulates what I was sharing with you, is that this was basically to provide a roadmap and understanding so that business owners could participate in the marketing and not be taken advantage of or miss important pieces. And so this really provides us with that. So that's that piece. When you walk out of here today, you guys are gonna have access to this. There's also tools that are embedded into this. It's not just instructions there. It will take you off the platform. Real tools, things that you're familiar with, like Google Analytics and ChatGPT, but also a handful of other tools that are right embedded into this, that as you're moving through this, so you will actually have access to links. It's very simple. And this is a developing platform. So what you're seeing now is sort of the core bones of it, and it is functional. It's something that's gonna be constantly updated, and we're gonna build on for you. So I'm gonna go ahead and push play on this. We already talked a little bit, we're a little bit behind, so I wanna kind of keep this moving.
The Smart Marketing 1-2-3 strategy and roadmap is tailored specifically for shop owners and entrepreneurs. We understand that marketing can be overwhelming, and our goal is to provide you with the knowledge and tools to make it easy to understand and implement. By the end of this presentation, you will have a comprehensive understanding of the fundamentals of marketing and a clear roadmap for your marketing strategy, regardless of your budget. Our strategy and roadmap is a simple yet effective approach that doesn't require you to be a marketing expert to understand it. We'll cover the best tactics to use and provide real-world examples of what your savvy peers are doing. You'll have the knowledge and tools you need to attract more customers and generate more revenue. And the best part is, it works for any budget, whether you have $0 to spend or an unlimited budget. So get ready to take your marketing to the next level. Not every business has the resources to hire a chief marketing officer, which can make navigating the world of marketing seem daunting. But don't worry, our approach is inspired by the role of CMO, but tailored to work for businesses with any budget. Joe used his experience as CMO, small business owner, and hard-won marketing wisdom to create a strategy and roadmap that works for all small businesses. He learned the hard way so you don't have to. Marketing can be frustrating and disappointing, especially if you don't have a large budget. That's why we fine-tuned our approach to work on any budget. The Smart Marketing 1-2-3 strategy is what Joe wished he had 12 years ago when he started his journey in digital marketing. Let me tell you a story about his experience. He wanted to create an e-commerce website, so he hired a developer and paid $5,000 a month. After a few months, Joe realized he was answering questions he didn't have the expertise for, like what color the button should be. He figured there had to be a better way. Joe searched and found a website builder. By the end of the evening, Joe created his first e-commerce website for $99. He learned that it's important to know which questions to ask and know what to expect, because when you ask an expert to solve a problem for you, they will do what they're an expert at, which may not always be the best way to solve the problem.
The foremost expert.
As business owners, we need a strategy and roadmap that gives us a visual of our whole marketing situation so we can make the right decisions. His mistake ended up costing him $20,000. He didn't know there were better, more cost-effective options.
Why didn't you tell me?
That's why we developed the Smart Marketing 1-2-3 strategy and roadmap. We want to help entrepreneurs and shop owners avoid costly mistakes. By following our strategy and roadmap, you'll know which questions to ask and how to know if things are done right. Our goal is to make marketing easy and accessible to everyone. It is important to dispel some myths that might hold you back. For example, many small and local businesses believe that digital marketing is only for big players like Amazon and Walmart. However, the reality is that local companies have an advantage in the digital space. The reason for this is geography and proximity to the customer is a major factor for relevancy. Search engines want to provide the most relevant content, and local businesses have a natural advantage in this area. By leveraging this advantage and taking steps to optimize their online presence, local businesses can increase their visibility to potential customers. Platforms like Google, Bing, Facebook, and YouTube are designed to show the most relevant content to their users. And by making sure that your content accurately reflects your business and location, you can take advantage of their algorithms and make it easier for potential customers to find you. And while social media can be a powerful tool, it's not the most important marketing channel. It's important to recognize that some of the most effective marketing strategies are not necessarily the most expensive. In fact, some of the most important marketing steps are actually free. Furthermore, we no longer build websites from scratch. We optimize them. The days of paying big money to launch a website and forgetting about it are over. Your website is a living, breathing mirror of your brand that needs to change and grow with you over time. That's why it doesn't make sense to make large investments in something that will need to be updated and tweaked in the future. Will this work for my company? Absolutely. It is designed to work for any business, regardless of industry or size. The strategy is built on foundational principles of digital marketing, and when followed in the right order, it enables the internet to work for you instead of against you. Let's look at some real-world examples. One e-commerce site has generated around $50 million in sales using these principles since 2016. While the distributor selling to retail companies that, in turn, sell to consumers has sold over $105 million using the exact same principles.
Just a quick heads up, those are actual companies that Joe is providing these services for. And over a course of time, of course, he developed this strategy. It's the same strategy he's using on a much larger scale. That was Universal Companies, that $105 million company. And Jake is familiar and works with that company as well. And so that's where that's the level of applicable practice and intelligence around this that's being delivered through this. So it's not really just very basic, childlike. These are strategies that work for multi-million-dollar companies and also smaller companies too.
Before you push play on that, Scott, just one more thing on that. While those companies are making
hundreds of millions a year. We recognize that not every company can afford to have a CMO who's driving all of that, the budget and all the energy going into that. This educational program was designed to bridge all the gaps before you get to that point where you have a CMO who's driving all that forward. This is for the business owner who doesn't have that person, who can get that same information, that same level of expertise. They're just doing it through this educational program with the app.
Yeah, or delegate it to somebody on the team that really has
Yeah.
acumen for this.
To benefit. For example, a local tree trimming and stump removal service needed to be found in a certain geographical area. By using these principles, they showed up at the top of Google search results, making it easy for potential customers in their area to find them. A food and beverage subscription service started seeing immediate increases in subscription rates when they started using these principles. The success of these businesses shows that this strategy works for companies of all sizes. It simply puts the internet to work for your company instead of against it. Is online marketing worth the trouble? When customers are in the market for a product or service, they typically go through a process of identifying the problem they need to solve, researching potential solutions, and evaluating providers. At every stage of this buying journey, the internet plays a crucial role, which means all of your marketing and sales efforts are severely impacted by your digital marketing. Customers will often turn to search engines, social media, and other online sources for information as they research solutions. They may visit a business's website, interact with their social media accounts, or see an advertisement before returning to the internet to gather more information. This process of going back and forth between the business's online presence and other online sources continues until the customer decides who to trust to solve their problem. To succeed in marketing, it's crucial to support this buying journey by making the internet work for your business rather than against it.
So really quick to expand on this, and I know it's a lot of stuff here, it can be seen a lot of different ways, but I'll be quick about it. It's essentially is the buyer's journey. It's really important to understand for your business, who is my customer, how are they finding me, who else are they finding? Along their path, their consideration phase to actually choosing somebody, what is this person doing? The days of, say, getting somebody on the car lot and convincing them to buy the car that you have in the back because it's what you have in stock or what you're gonna get paid on, those days are over. Nowadays, somebody shows up on the lot, they've already decided what car they want, they know the VIN number, they know where it is, they know exactly what you need to do to get it, so you're really just a facilitator at this point. So what this is talking about is along this journey, they're gonna go back and forth and they're considering many different things for wider consideration phases, of course, more so than short ones. But you can't just have, for example, a website or have one of these pieces buttoned up because maybe the reviews are not good or inconsistent. And somebody else is comparable and they have great reviews. Well, then they do a jump and they now are very interested in your competitor. So it's about finding those pieces, making sure all those pieces are buttoned up along that buyer's journey for your customer so that you're meeting them where they are online and you're presenting yourself in the best possible way. That this will allow you to do that. So that's really what that's pointing out there.
Marketing 1-2-3 strategy is built around this principle, emphasizing the importance of optimizing your online presence for each stage of the buying journey. Where do I start? What do I focus on? To begin your digital marketing journey, focus on where your customers want you to start. While the world of digital marketing can seem complex, identifying where your potential customers are in their buying journey is the first step to success. If a customer is ready to buy or need support, they require a clear path to purchase. Therefore, your first priority should be identifying their needs and meeting them where they are in their journey. Once you've established this foundation, you can expand your marketing efforts to other areas. Local businesses have a significant advantage over larger companies when it comes to attracting customers. This is because consumers are increasingly interested in shopping locally and having access to both online and in-store experiences. There are 4 key reasons why customers prefer to buy from local businesses. Firstly, local businesses often offer more competitive pricing, and customers can often negotiate for even better deals. Secondly, local businesses provide convenience with a variety of delivery options, and customers can shop with confidence knowing they can quickly receive their purchases. Thirdly, many customers rely on mobile devices while shopping, and these devices often match them with nearby businesses. This means local businesses can take advantage of location-based technology to reach potential customers in their area. The shift towards local search has been termed as the near me revolution, and it's rapidly changing the way people shop. Did you know that nearly half of all Google searches are for local information, and that over 70% of customers who search locally end up visiting a store within just 5 miles? A great example of this is Google Ads, which provides insights into the most common search terms in any given area. For instance, by searching for products and services in Northeast Tennessee and adding near me, you can see that there are over 1 million monthly searches for local options, with almost 1 million searches for just 10 common items. This data shows that local search is more important than ever before. If you think Black Friday is popular, look at Near Me. The Near Me revolution has had a significant impact on the way that customers interact with businesses. As mentioned earlier, people are increasingly looking for products and services close to where they live or work. On this slide, you'll see a graph of Google
Okay. Account for that.
expertise for search solutions. They make devices while shopping, and these for instance, by searching for products and services in Northeast can impact on the way that customers interact with businesses. As mentioned earlier, people are increasingly looking for products and services close to where they live or work. On this slide, you'll see a graph of Google Trends showing how frequently people search for different terms on Google. As you can see, the blue line representing Near Me searches is far higher than the other terms, including popular shopping events like Amazon Black Friday and Cyber Monday. This presents a unique opportunity for local businesses to capture the attention of potential customers in a way that was not possible before. The internet knows about Near Me and wants to connect you to consumers. Are you going to help them help you? When it comes to the Near Me movement, the internet is your ally in connecting with potential customers. There are countless websites and apps that exist solely to help customers find businesses and services nearby. However, these websites and apps need accurate information to do their job effectively. This means it's important for businesses to provide complete and up-to-date information about their products and services. In addition to helping customers find your business, providing accurate information also helps search engines like Google and Bing learn more about your business and improve its visibility in search results. This is because search engines use information from various online sources to build a complete picture of your business.
We've learned customers use the internet at every step of their buying process. Local companies have the advantage because those customers seek services and products near them. Search engines and other influential sites want to give customers what they're looking for. All your marketing depends on the internet working for you instead of against you. In the next section, we'll explain how to put these sites to work for your company. Before we move on, let's take a moment to reflect on and discuss what we've learned so far. Question number 1. When you want to find out about a product or service, how do you search for information online? Question number 2. Have you ever had a frustrating experience trying to find information about a company online? What happened? Question number 3. Have you ever had a really good experience looking up information about a brand online? What made it great?
So we'll pause there really quick, just kind of recap on that. Like he had said, that a lot of people think that Amazon or Walmart this is useful for them and you guys are just getting crushed anyway, so what's the point of even trying? The fact is actually it's the opposite. Companies like Walmart and Amazon wish that they could have a Google My Business profile. They can't. Because Google understands geographically, they build a dossier on your entity, and it's comprised of all the things you tell Google you are. And Google always wants to serve up the best result, and so Google is using its own tools in terms of proximity. Where is this location? Anything you tell it, that whole screen was full of all those different sites like Dex, etc. Those are all listings out there or directories that may have incorrect information or they have no information about you. And when that's telling, again, the internet who you are, etc. So really, as a local business, Google knows the people who are buying products and services would prefer to buy from you. So Google is constantly trying to figure out who's the best option to share with the person searching that they're gonna be happiest with. They know it's a local business provider who meets the most criteria and that they can trust and be sure that this is what you're looking for. And if you do a great job of telling the internet or Google these things, and you understand how to meet Google and basically do what you're supposed to do to the full extent, you're gonna be preferred and you're gonna be shown over the national companies. In fact, the national companies are left to deal with organic search and they're down here, or they're paying for that ad space, which they can do. But in that map pack, in a place where a lot of people go first and they can see reviews and everything, that's strictly local. So this will advise you as a local business.
Does this only work if you have a physical location though? Like, can I get a listing when I'm a mobile yoga?
Yes, you can. So you would be considered a service area business,
Yeah.
and you could give Google your home address and say, don't display my home address online,
Okay.
but display it within 100 or 50 miles, however long you're willing to drive, to provide your services.
Okay.
So yeah.
I feel like I started that process, but I don't see me anywhere on there, so I don't think I was verified, but I.
Gotcha. That app will walk you right through the steps to do that. So that's a positive piece in there. But a great question. Just to answer some of these really quick. If you're looking for somebody, right, and you can't find them, well, obviously you haven't done a good enough job of telling the internet who they are. And what happens as a result of that? Well, a lot of times if it's something they need right now, they're gonna move off and they're gonna find a competitor, somebody who is present that they can make a phone call to quick and set an appointment with. And that's a shame for the other business, because maybe they even, I've seen situations where they have a personal relationship, right? And then they go online privately on their laptop and they're gonna buy this or do this, and they would have liked to have worked with them, but they get pulled, in another direction. So I'm gonna go ahead now. This is sort of the meat and potatoes right now where I push play. It's gonna run for, I think, over 10 minutes. But we've been teasing and leading up to, now he's gonna walk right into, here is the strategy.
Scott, before you start that too, I have to let things out or I just explode. Okay, so
Let it out.
for all of you, it's not just about who you are, but how this alluded to, how your customers are searching for you. So if they don't know your exact name, or if they kind of see you in the same position as several other people, they might be searching for information that you have, and having that on your website is also a really important thing. And I'm thinking about the mortgage market right now. I suspect it's probably really important for the people you work with what the Fed interest rates are doing, right? Because that changes what kind of house they can afford and what kind of rates.
Yeah.
So someone may not be looking for you or another company, they might be looking for the rates right now, just to find out what they can afford. So having that information on your website or on your Google Business profile, that's just as important as your name in some cases. I'm just going right back to, you want to meet your customers where they are. And a lot of what this app teaches is not just who you are, but what you do, and giving that information to your searchers and knowing what information they want. You can actually ask Google, what are people searching around my business, and it'll tell you. So I just wanted to mention that.
Excellent point.
Yeah.
Mortgage calculators and these sorts of things. A lot of people, it's doing the right things. It's the steps you need to know how to do it properly, so that Google can understand that you're the one they want to choose. So I'm gonna let Rick. Really quick, any other questions before I go ahead and move on this? Okay.
To succeed in the digital world, you need a marketing strategy that works for you. That's where the Smart Marketing 1, 2, 3 roadmap comes in. It's a 3-step process that's easy to follow, yet powerful in its results. Step 1, make sure the internet knows who you are. This is the most crucial step in free or low cost. If you skip this step, all your marketing will funnel customers to your competitors. Step 2, make sure your website is working for you, not against you. People make snap judgments about a company based on their website. Having a website isn't enough anymore. Your website should meet your customers' Google's and your revenue expectation. Step 3, take your business to the next level with amplified visibility and income. Increase awareness, traffic, and sales by investing in advertising and other traffic sources with a safe, low-risk method. The first step is to tell the internet who you are and what you offer. There are 3 crucial levels with amplified visibility.
I just want to anchor this. So just to be clear, telling the internet who you are, multitude of steps, the app walks you through, almost specifically in every case and every tool that you'll be able to sit down, be able to do that very effectively. Number two, the point of engagement, your website. You can have a lot of traffic, but if the website isn't doing anything with that traffic, or it isn't what those people are expecting, or it doesn't serve, they bounce, and you're not gonna get conversions, you're not gonna get calls. So that's the next important thing, is making sure your website is set up properly so that it's performing for you. And it blows me away how many businesses have a website, have invested in it, will be able to tell you about it, but if you ask them, what is it your website is doing for your business? Can you tell me how many, for example, leads you received last month? Do you have any revenue expectations, or can you tell me how much revenue your website has produced? And people usually just go, glossy-eyed. And that should be the reason you have a website, right? It represents you, but it also is it's representation of you that should be performing for your business. And then of course amplify. Once you have told the internet who you are, you've now got traffic going to a website. The website is turning that traffic into either calls or is satisfying that. Now it's time that you can start turning up the volume, pay for ads, pay for anything from radio, to start investing in creating that brand awareness. Because like I said earlier, if you don't do these first steps, you're advertising for your competitors. What they mean is, you can spend a ton of dough out there in great ads, people get excited, they go online and they find all your competitors, you know where to be found, and they walk them right through the finish line. So those are the three pieces that are essential core elements for the strategy.
Increase awareness, traffic, and sales by investing in advertising and other traffic sources, and your Google and Bing business profiles, claiming your profiles on other trusted sites, and engaging with customers through Google. Setting up and verifying your Google and Bing business profiles is the first milestone. This is the most foundational step for local businesses because it allows them to tell search engines about their company.
Really quick, I'm going to show you the functionality here. Again, this is the app that you're looking at.
Nice try. Yeah. I wasn't, not 6 months.
You're a good student.
Hey, I tried.
And so you'll notice right here, you've got tell the internet who you are, website, and amplify. So here are those three core elements. And so under telling the internet who you are, which is where you'd start, this provides a roadmap. And if you click on this, for example, this happens to be, is my Google business profile verified? Notice the checkbox is unchecked at this point because it isn't done. You can also click this and email the instructions that are right here to yourself or to somebody else on your team and have them do it. But then it goes right through step by step. If I click on this, it'll take me to and see if I have my business registered. And then it walks you through all of the steps, even screenshots if you need them, to kind of make sure that you're able to see and understand exactly how to do this. And then when you have completed that step, you'd simply go ahead and check this off. Okay, my Google business is now verified. And when we go back, you'll see that the score changes, right? And this goes up a little bit. You'll also notice here, just a little tick, we've only just started. It still says the internet's working against us. So the idea, so you understand this as we're watching this video, that this is the work part, this is the roadmap part, this is the sort of guide that is going to help you through. So a person can sit down in their time they have to do this and just go about the business of walking through. By the time they're done, they will have told the internet very effectively who they are, right? And this is, again, always changing, so we're updating this to make sure that you guys are going to have this updated. Then we move on to the website and we start going through the same process. Checking, and now some of these boxes may already be checked for you. You're like, oh, I already have that, click, right? So then you'll know very clearly where you're open, where you've got work to do. And then of course, finally, an amplify, the same process over here. So this is the nature of how this roadmap will walk you through what we're discussing with you. There's other things we'll get into a little further down here as far as the tools and tips and various other things that are also available here. But I'll go back to the video. So I think that's helpful when you're seeing this to try to understand how to apply that.
Thanks, Scott.
So businesses can directly tell the internet who they are and what they offer, without relying on SEO hacks to rank on search engine. The second milestone is to claim your profiles on other trusted sites and provide accurate company information. This includes details like your company name, address, phone number, website URL, and hours of operation. By doing this, potential customers will see consistent information about your business across multiple platforms, and your online presence will be more trustworthy and reliable. Finally, engaging with customers through Google is essential to building trust and a good reputation. The more you use Google products, such as Google My Business, to connect with your customers, the more Google can get to know and trust you. This can increase the likelihood that Google will send potential customers your way.
Really quick, what those are, you've noticed there's actual chat bots you can have on your Google Business profile. There's also people can ask questions. They might say, hey, how much is this? Or, hey, I was thinking about doing this, do I have to do it right? And those pop through and they come to the business owner because you would have set it up to do that. That business owner responds promptly within a reasonable amount of time. I think it's 24 hours or maybe less. You know the exact numbers.
The sooner the better.
The sooner the better.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, then eventually Google says, well, you've got 25 people here who have been trying to message you about your business and you've not responded to at all, any of them, or you're responding extremely late. We're gonna go ahead and put somebody else into this top position so they get those, because you're not communicating or following through. We want somebody who's gonna actually address these questions, and that affects your rank as well. So these are those engagement points that just in the Google Business profile are gonna have a huge impact on how Google sees your business. And if you're, again, playing by the rules and doing what you're supposed to, Google loves you. And first of all, if you know it, you're ahead of the game, right? And if you do it, you're probably gonna win.
So Sarah, I heard you say earlier, you're a connector, right? You said that. So Google thinks of itself as a connector too. And you would not connect two people who would not satisfy each other's needs, right? You make sure it made sense for each of them to do business. Same thing with Google. If Google doesn't think that you're gonna satisfy a customer's needs, they simply won't send people to you. But if they're certain you are, because you've shown them that you answer their text messages, you answer their questions, then of course Google's gonna say, yeah, this person can take care of your needs, and they'll make sure they connect you with as many people as possible, knowing they're doing the right thing.
It's also,
Sarah's a great.
Luckily, I'm
connector,
always
but-
on my phone, I'll respond real quick.
Yeah.
He does a great job.
I can't think of a more influential influencer than Sarah.
Oh,
Everybody knows her. Yeah, and talk about lead flow. You've got a pipeline where people are finding you and they're asking questions about your service and how they can use it. I mean, wow, that's pretty powerful. You wouldn't believe how many businesses don't have that stuff.
Become more confident in your business. In the next section, we'll dive deeper into each of these milestones and provide you with actionable steps to achieve them. Why start here? What is the first thing you do when you learn about a brand? Google it. It's important to know that search engines are the top way people discover new brands. According to a study by Hootsuite and We Are Social, search engines are followed by TV ads and word of mouth as the primary sources of brand discovery. In fact, even if someone hears about your brand through other means, they're likely to turn to search engines for more information. Once customers found your brand, they keep searching. You might be surprised to learn just how crucial it is to prioritize your online presence. While it's well known that search engines are the top way people discover new brands, you may not have considered just how essential it is to ensure that your business is accurately represented online once potential customers have found you. As we can see from the data, search engines and social networks are the top ways people research a brand once they've discovered it. But it's not just limited to these channels. Consumer review sites, brand and product websites, price comparison websites, mobile apps, and video sites are all linked to search engines and the internet. In other words, it's critical to inform the internet about your business and make sure it accurately reflects your brand. To start the process of telling the internet who your business is, take action on these steps. Each step is phrased as a question with supporting details, so you always know which question to ask and what to expect. Also, we provide you with directions to verify you are getting the right results. The first and most crucial step is to verify your Google business profile. Why is this so important? Because your profile is what people see first when they search for your business on Google. How do I check to see if it is verified? To check if your Google business profile is verified, use the Check Your Verification Status tool from Google.
Those tools I showed you.
Simply go to the Google My Business dashboard, find your business listing, and click on Verify Now if it's not already verified. From there, you'll be taken to the verification status page, which will tell you if your profile is verified or not. If it's not, you can follow the steps to get it verified. Is my Google business profile completed? A complete and accurate Google business profile is more important than ever in today's digital age. It's important to note that Google asks for this information because it wants and needs it to help customers find what they're looking for. By providing complete and accurate information, you increase the trustworthiness of your business and help Google better understand who you are. How do I check to see if it is completed? Check your profile strength score. Is my business represented by images on Google Business Profile? Google uses these images to better understand your business. By regularly uploading photos of happy customers, products, and services, you give Google even more information about your business. This is a valuable way to build trust and enhance your online presence, almost as if you were writing out your business's description yourself. What kind of images should be on my profile? Some key images to include are exterior and interior photos. Show off your storefront or office and let customers know what to expect when they arrive. Product photos. If you sell products, make sure to include high-quality photos that show the details and features of each item. Team photos, action shots. Show your business in action, whether it's your staff hard at work, a customer enjoying your services, or an event taking place. Virtual tour. Consider creating a 360-degree virtual tour of your business so customers can get a better sense of the layout and atmosphere. Are we managing reviews on Google Business Profile? To improve your online presence, it's crucial to take an active role in managing your online reviews. You can start by asking your customers for reviews and responding to each one, whether positive or negative. By actively managing your reviews, you're showing Google that you're engaged with your customers and committed to providing quality service, which can improve your search engine ranking and ultimately drive more traffic to your business. What should I expect to see if we are managing our reviews correctly? First, all of your reviews should have replies. Replying to reviews shows that you value your customers' feedback and are dedicated to providing a positive experience. You should also see recent reviews being added regularly. This demonstrates that you are actively collecting reviews from your customers and staying engaged with them. Finally, you should see a predominance of positive reviews. While not every review will be glowing, a preponderance of positive reviews indicates that you are doing a great job of meeting your customers' needs. Are we posting company updates regularly?
So really quick, reviews are money. They're money. There's a company, a roofing company in town, and they have a foreman that comes through. When that job is complete, they get paid $100 by their employer if they get a 5-star review, because they know what that review is worth. And of course, they have a ton of them, right? Because they're motivated to do it. So when you're with your clients, it seems trivial, and they didn't, but maybe so. No, you should really treat it like, if there's a possibility to get a positive review, that is money.
Yeah.
And it does make a difference. You show up on that Google profile, the reviews are one of the discerning factors that people see even in that top 3. Somebody's got, and don't worry about a 5-star across the board. In fact, that looks phony. There's a lot we can get into this, but I just wanted to pause for a second and emphasize that, because the businesses that do focus on that simple thing, they can translate that into dollars and cents. It's that impactful.
Updates on your Google Business Profile is a powerful way to build your online presence. Not only does it give your customers insight into your business, but it also shows Google that your business is active and engaged. By posting updates about your products, services, and employees, you give customers a better sense of who you are and what you do. How often should I create posts? Google Business Profile posts last for 7 days from the time they are published. After that, they are no longer visible to customers on your profile, so it's important to regularly update your posts to keep your profile fresh and engaging. Do we represent our products and services accurately? To ensure that your customers and Google understand what your business does, it's critical to accurately represent your products and services in your Google Business Profile. This means that you should categorize your business and provide individual details, including pictures, pricing, and other relevant information. By doing this, you can give your customers and Google a clear and accurate picture of what your business does and what it offers. How do I know if this was done right? To ensure that you represent your products and services accurately on your Google Business Profile, you need to be as specific as possible. This means being detailed in your categorization, description, and use of keywords. When selecting categories for your products and services, make sure to choose the most relevant options. This will help Google understand what your business offers and show your profile to the right people. For example, If you're a restaurant, don't just select restaurant as your category. Be more specific and select categories like Italian restaurant. Have we claimed the other online?
One thing about that though, you wanna be careful, is I've known businesses where like, well, I'll do the more the better, right? I can be these things, confuses Google, and now you don't show up for anything, and then it's a hassle to try and to correct it. So it's more about just being correct and doing it. Just a quick tip, because you know for a fact that that's what happens.
To expand on this, claiming your business profiles on other online directories like Yelp, Bing, and Facebook allows you to make sure that your business information is correct and consistent across the internet. This not only helps customers find your business more easily, but it also signals to search engines like Google that your business is trustworthy and authoritative. Plus, claiming your profiles on these directories also gives you more opportunities to engage with potential customers and promote your products and services. How do you know if the important ones are claimed? There's a tool that can help. It's called the Bright Local Free Listing Health Scanner, and it's a quick and easy way to check the health of your business listings across various directories. This tool is free and straightforward to use. All you need to do is enter your business information and the scanner will do the rest. Is our information exactly correct on third-party review sites? To ensure that your business is accurately represented and easily found by potential customers, it's important to make sure that your information is correct and consistent on all third-party review sites. Using a tool like Bright Local's Local Listing Health Scanner can help you quickly identify if your name, address, zip, and phone number are consistent across all sites. You want to make sure that your information is exactly the same on every site, which helps build trust with your audience and improve your search engine ranking. How do we know if our information is correct? Use the same Bright Local tool. Are we monitoring and answering online reviews? Taking an active approach to monitoring and responding to online reviews is crucial for building trust with your customers. Stay on top of all of your reviews across different sites and engage with your customers in a meaningful way. How do we monitor online reviews? Bright Local's reputation management tool is a great solution for monitoring and responding to online reviews. The tool allows you to track all of your reviews across different sites.
Have any of you guys ever worked with Bright Local?
No, I'm learning so much.
I know, this has been great stuff.
So many steps to do.
I need to kind of accelerate this a little bit too, because you're hearing this and we're going to depth explaining it. It's the same thing the app is going to walk you through when you get there to do it. So really, for this to sort of represent this, these are the things we're trying to accomplish in the app. It seems redundant in the presentation. That is going to be in detail for you. So for the interest of time, I want to kind of move forward a little bit on some of this stuff here. Because you guys know that the app exists and how it functions. And up here, the next piece is going to be website. So, really quick here, there. Okay, so that was all, tell the internet who you are, right? Kind of expanding into that first column. Here we're going into the website working for you. And this will, again, kind of get into a lot of the details about what constitutes a good site, things that you can do. I would listen to this in just sort of a high-arching, sort of conceptual understanding, knowing that the nitty-gritty and the tools and the step work, all that stuff is inside the app here. This piece will run, I think, probably for about 15 minutes or so. I may accelerate it a little bit. At the end of this, I want to make sure that you guys are able to log in, and Jake can assist you guys, and we'll actually get you access to the app so that you'll be able to bookmark it and have it from this point forward and work with that. And then, of course, we'll share with you the ways that that can be supported. There's an AI chatbot, which will provide you, I mean, it's amazing how it works. It's actually tailor-fitted for the app, and some work has been done there so that it really does serve. And if you want to go beyond that, sometimes I want to talk to a person. There's an actual, we actually do give you Joe's cell phone number so that you're able to reach out to him and talk to him.
Are we gonna be able to see this? If this video is available, we may or may not need to see all of it right now. We could watch all of this if we have access to it.
True.
Yeah, so everything you're watching here is available in the app. We do have about 20 minutes left. If you guys would rather, I mean, everything in the video is great.
Yeah.
If you want to move into Q&A or start actually clicking through the app,
Well, I had a 3:30 meeting, I bumped to 3:45, right across the street, so that's
Okay.
just when I have to leave by like 3:40.
Maybe, Jake, I think you're right, and Josh, I think that's a good point. You're looking at the app right now, by the way. So you're correct, this is embedded, and so when you have access to this, you can go back and watch it at your leisure. It's also broken down here, where this is the full gamut, right, 45 minutes. This right here, just the right, tell the internet who you are section of the video is isolated there. And same for these three pieces. So maybe, perhaps, Jake, if you wanna kind of go through these tabs up here.
I think that's more beneficial for sure for me and hopefully for the room, if we have some real time to kind of get into the app, ask a few questions, make sure we know how to use it. And then we can go back and listen to this, any of this 45-minute video whenever we have some downtime, because
Yeah.
I think that's great.
Yeah, I agree, and I think the biggest thing to get out of the video is understanding those three pillars and where you fit into those three pillars, and understanding that the app is helping you identify that place you're at. Almost like if you were, have you guys, I hate this example because I hate taxes. Have you guys ever used ZipTax?
Zip tax?
Oh, not ZipTax.
TurboTax?
TurboTax,
I have
yeah.
it.
ZipTax is a local company.
I just
TurboTax.
used it this week.
Okay, was it wonderful?
You got it done on time?
I mean, taxes are awful,
Yeah.
but TurboTax is so good at saying, you're here. I've seen all this
Oh, yeah.
paperwork, I haven't seen this paperwork, you're right here, and you need to answer these questions. So, this app does a really good job of saying, hey, you're right here, and here's the things that we need to do from this point. So, based on what we've seen from the video so far, can everyone venture a guess as to where they are in this process? If it's telling you who you are, is your website working for your customers or amplified? Joshua, where would you say you are right
I basically finished step one, so
Okay.
like the internet knows I exist and who I am, and now I need to do everything else.
now? Yeah. And what about anyone else?
So I really appreciate Joshua, getting my profile on Google.
I didn't do it, I mean, it's.
With 2 5 stars on it, so thank you for getting me going. And so I've got a website, but I don't really have a presence on the internet. And so that's where we're at.
Okay. Yeah, and,
Well, how about Sarah?
oh, yeah, Sarah?
You guys keep skipping over the girls.
I'm sorry.
Oh, burn.
No, I have a website I just launched through a program called Offering Tree. It's specifically for like health and wellness and yoga people, but I can't find it if I Google Reading Yoga or anything like that. So like step one, the internet's definitely working against me because I see my competitors on there. Yeah, so I'm excited. I didn't even know you could, I have so many professional yoga event photos. I didn't know I could add photos to a Google listing.
Absolutely.
Or have that,
So I have a quick question. So if you go through the program, it's designed to give us a presence online. Is it primarily for Google, or when you go through these different steps, is it giving you that presence for different services like Google or Bing or Yelp, or going through this program is going to give you exposure to all of those different media sources then, is that
Yeah,
right?
that's right. So when you set up your website, of course, that's gonna be the same across all browsers. A lot of what we've been discussing so far is Google My Business, or it's now called Google Business Profile. And the reason we're doing that is because Google represents about 80% of all internet searches.
Yeah.
The other 20% are shared among Bing and Firefox and, a handful of other, DuckDuckGo is another one. And so when we say Google, we really mean all of them.
yeah.
They're just the giant elephant in the room. And not only that, everyone else knows they're the best. So if you were to go onto Bing and create your Bing business profile, you know what you can do? Just log into Bing and say, pull over all my Google information.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
Because Bing knows it's a lot easier for them just to get information from Google than from you even.
Can you do that with other sources too, like Yelp and?
So when it comes to Yelp and these other citations, there's a couple different ways you can do it. You can set up your account and do it that way, or you can go through what's called a data aggregator, such as, I think there's one called Yext and a few others. But when you do it that way, what you're doing is you're paying a third-party company, you're giving them your information, and then they're disseminating that information to Yelp and Yellow Pages and those other online services you saw up here. So the problem with those third-party companies is when you stop paying them, they stop pushing your data through.
Okay.
And you can lose those. So I prefer manual entry.
So
It
you just
lasts-
mentioned something really interesting. If, we go through these steps and now we got an online presence, does that automatically push my name to the Yellow Pages too? So under mortgages in the Yellow Pages, there I am, or not so much?
So YP Yellow Pages has a citation website,
Mhm.
and you can set up an account on that website, which will represent your business, or you can go through Yahoo, Yext, one of those data aggregators.
At an additional cost?
Yep,
fee
at a
to
cost, yep, and they'll push that through. And I think Yellow Pages is part of that network that will get their information pushed out to them.
All right.
And having, and Google Business Profile is a directory, it's just a huge one, a really important one.
Yeah.
So when you think of Yak or Yelp, and you think of Dex and these others out there, Better Business Bureau, Yelp is an example where you can fill out your basic information, have a profile on Yelp, it's all correct, mission accomplished. Yelp would like you to go further and start to advertise with them and really start using their platform more. That's an option up to you depending on the industry, if it makes sense. But basically making sure that all your information is correct and consistent, that Google knows that, because Google is plugged into these and it sees, oh, well, they're dialed in, is their phone number's correct and all these, we're very confident about this information. Whether you want to go further with those like Google Business Profile, it's a good idea with Google Business Profile because it's free, right, unlike Yelp. And Google is the universe for the most part. So when you make sure your reviews are on there, they're gonna be seen holistically. When you put pictures up there and you have engagement into there, it resonates 50 times as more effective than a lot of those. But that is one of the steps in setting up. And the information is of course on the app on how to go through the tools and do that.
And you can now run Google Ads to your Google business listing as well, so that's another benefit to having that. And so Scott has already done a really good job of presenting this part of the app to you. I do want to mention, not all of these things are equally important. And so as you're going through and clicking these, that's going to be reflected in the number of points you get for each one. And when you start using the app, I would say that the best thing to do is just run through all of these and say, here's what I'm doing, here's what I'm not doing. And if you're not sure, just click into it, read up on it, and see what work you need to have done.
One point that I know we need to make clear, this is not intended to be a closed universe where all the information you will ever need to know is in this box. That's not true. Again, this is a roadmap. This is something that keeps you on track. There are times when you're doing this work, you might find yourself jumping over and Googling stuff and finding other pieces here to get a clearer understanding maybe about the specifics of how it applies to your business. There's a whole universe of information out there. But what this does is it keeps you on track so that you always come back to this and you know that I've got that step covered or I don't have that step covered. So don't feel as if you're not seeing some information here, hey, I had to go outside of this, I Googled it and I found this whole site over here that gave me all the rest of this information. Great, do that, but this is intended to keep you on track so you can do that and it's relevant within the scope of this.
One of the things that got me excited about this idea and concept of Smart Marketing 123 offering this to chamber members is that when we did the Google My Business stuff in year one for me at the chamber in 2016, what I realized was looking in the mirror at our own organization and the things that we need to click on there and make sure is that even some of this really basic stuff in our community is by and large missing. Yeah. So I know this work from a holistic chamber standpoint is going to elevate our business community, and that's what's exciting for us.
Hugely, over national competitors and people who are pulling money out of this market for sure.
Yeah, let's give less to Walmart and Target.
It's back to Chris's comment on the Yellow Pages. I mean, I remember Benda from the Record.
That doesn't go any further than this.
No, that's fine. He interviewed me, Jay Benda interviewed me back in 2016 and said stuff about, so what are you gonna do to make a difference at the chamber? And we started talking about this marketing stuff, and I said, when I was working at NBCSS before, I was using the phone book to prop up my wastebasket. I wasn't using them. So,
Right.
True story.
Right.
Yeah,
That's true.
it's all digital now. I mean,
Yeah,
Google,
yeah.
what you said, I mean, 80% of all the searching, and that's the #1 way people get information and brand is online and
They
Google.
pick up their phone and they're searching right there.
Yeah, so 100%.
Well, they think with Google, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, even before they know what they need, they have an issue, and they're starting to examine the issue, right? Just like rates for mortgages, or, you know, they have questions. And people who are savvy in this space, just like you saw that pyramid, and people are going back and forth and back and forth, they know what you're looking for before you need them, and they're, like, think about your frequently asked questions. If your FAQs are, if Google's aware of those are answers to frequently asked questions about your industry and your services. So those are the questions people are asking. Or you can do better than that. You can actually look at what people are searching for around your services and products, build your FAQs around that, because we already know this is what people are entering when they're trying to figure out you or what you offer or why that's valuable. You could build your FAQs off of those things, and boom, instantly you become preferred, and you're that advisor, that trusted advisor, before people even know they need your brand. And then you become that trusted brand that now it's time for them to make a decision. You're the one who's been walking them through. So again, we could go on for a long time about that, but that's just the point.
Yeah, so one of the other things you can do on the app that most people are not aware of, you can create a website, and I've created probably hundreds of websites if I had to guess, and I've worked on several, many more than that. What most people do when they're building a website is they put some information up, they make sure it looks good, and then they connect their domain, and that's that. What you probably don't understand is that every website has a front end and it has a back end, and that back end has what's called metadata in it. And so every page has a title, every page has keywords or key phrases that are specific to a service or a product that you're providing. Every page has a meta description, and if you don't fill that stuff in too, which people don't typically see or pay any attention to, that's the information Google's using to understand the website. And so by filling that information out as you're building your website, that's a really important thing. Remember earlier in the video, it mentioned you need to be meeting your customers' expectations, your revenue expectations, and Google's expectations. Having your website done right is meeting Google's expectations. And so what Joe's done is connected this Dream Site Builder. This website will also take care of the back-end information as well as the front-end information. And if you've ever used anything like Wix or Squarespace, it's really similar to that. It's a drag and drop system. It works really well.
These are across the top if you see me doing it there.
Yeah, so
Just
it's-
to introduce you to this here.
So pro tips and tools. Everyone is in a different spot in their journey. Sorry, I'm gonna watch the clock here. I'm not on time. So if you've ever tried to organize this and to work through it, the first thing you'll find is there is an entire ocean of information. So overwhelming, and a lot of times it's contradictory. A lot of times, they say, well, social is the most important thing, or Google Ads are the most important thing, or this, and it can be completely overwhelming. What we've done is, by putting you in that pipeline of where you are, and then teaching you not just how to do the thing, but to know if you even need the thing.
Yeah.
So, social media ads, I'll use that as an example. That can be an excellent way to get customers, or it can be an excellent way to burn all your money.
And time, yeah.
And time. To know which one makes sense in your case, you have to know if your customers are actually looking for your products and services in social media, and whether or not you can actually make that money work for you, or if you're just gonna throw it all away. So these pro tips and tools are designed to drain the ocean and just give you the right tools at the right time for the position you're in. And each one of these has been vetted. We know it's good information, we know it works, it's not just some fly-by-night.
This part here is, really just honestly,
These are just all tools.
these are tools, yep.
That are in the app.
Yep, exactly. You link right to them, there's a brief description on how to use them, and this is dynamic. These will be added to as we go along. So these right here, just to have these all right in front of you, boom, you're into Google Analytics, you're into those places. Most people don't even know how to find these things or use these tools, and they're free.
I've used ChatGPT for my website
Have you?
and for my events.
ChatGPT is so fun.
Thanks to this
I haven't
building
used it
right
yet.
here, I gotta connect, yeah.
Nice.
I gotta use that. It looks like a lot of
It's fun and it's scary.
I wrote a children's book when I was here for like 20 minutes. I wrote this book for me, told me what I should include in the insert, told me how I could use it for my business. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, totally.
So this is kind of neat here really quick. So this schedule is not tuned for this market yet. This is still reflective of what's going on in Tennessee for the most part. But what this would be is, let's say, this right here is, here's the app, here's how it works, here's how to use it, right? That's sort of introductory 101. But of course you can tell there's so much in here. It would be smart to say, do a presentation on the web building part of it. Do a presentation on, let's dig into this Google Business Profile. So the idea is that we would have sort of, maybe potentially, if this works out with us, if we had, say, two, like say for all the new people who come into the chamber, hey, on the 15th of every month, these guys do a presentation, it shows you how to use these apps, and then it plugs you into it. There's more than you're gonna possibly get in that meeting, but it'll show you how to use the thing. Then there's a second presentation they'll do that month, where maybe it's about, why doesn't my website work? Or how do I get found online? Why are these other people right? How come I can't rank? And then we could speak to this. Of course, you'll have it because, right, you're in the chamber and you have it for free. We can use this is a calendar that would privy you to when those presentations would be available. It's embedded in the app that you'd have once you get it for free.
We have relationships with Record Searchlight, Results Radio, where when people join the chamber, right, they get that certificate, and it's good for a chunk of credit toward an advertising campaign. And then after that relationship happens, then it's up to the business person and the media outlet to decide where the relationship goes from there.
Right.
But it's just another thing that we can provide to our members, which is where I was thinking we would go with this too, is you're connecting another opportunity with our chamber members to learn how to better their marketing strategy.
I give it two.
And they get
giant
something
thumbs
of
up.
value, they get something of value
Yeah.
for free as a result of their relationship
Yeah.
with the chamber.
Yeah.
For all of our
Yeah.
small businesses, I think it's incredibly important and hugely valuable. Like, I give these guys two big thumbs up. Like, what I didn't know 6 months ago before working, like, I mean, I was, like I said, the internet was working against me for my local representation of Aflac. Like, no one could find us. So it's very important for small businesses that don't have someone working on this to figure out and know how to get it out there so we can be found.
I think there's a lot of people that are probably close to me where, you know, we just haven't had this as an influence on my life. When I went to college, I was writing COBOL as a class. You know, it was COBOL and whatever other program names, and then the Mac was just coming out when I was graduating, right? So never really had this influence, and so there's probably other business people that really haven't had this kind of exposure. And so for me, you know, I've got the time and energy to put the work into it. It's just a matter of how to understand how to get going with it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And the thing that I like about it is the potential building blocks just to kind of get you started and have a roadmap for getting started the right way for exposure online.
Even
So-
just have a structured understanding like this.
And then the other thing is our community, then you have local businesses that, because it said somewhere in there that, you know, the majority of the people wanna buy local.
Yeah.
But you gotta be able to see it,
Yeah.
so
They can't
that's
find
what's
you.
good
And
about.
if the chamber offers this, it's like, already every one part of being a chamber member is worth it. You know, I always tell people like, and
Yeah.
I've built my entire, both businesses just through networking and
Mhm.
running locally, word of mouth. And I haven't had this aspect of it, and I haven't had any education on the online, the marketing, that part, you know?
Yeah.
And someone just asked me today, I was like, cause I mentioned the social media marketing that chamber does, like, they do marketing for you? I'm like, no, but they'll share your stuff.
Yeah,
But if they also connect you with resources, like,
Yeah.
yeah.
And education and let you do the work and get your name and brand out, that's huge.
was I really liked, back in the day, we used to have like social media workshops occasionally, remember
Same.
Katie put those
Uh-huh,
on?
yeah,
But
that's
like
what
something like this, I know business owners are craving, and they
absolutely.
Something we're kind of throwing around the idea of this, you already saw the schedule, potentially having something like, why doesn't my website work Wednesday? So
Mm.
I used to teach at some of the local colleges, and I've taught at Cloudwise Academy, so a lot of what I know and what I can do is just around teaching people how to get things to function properly. So that might be something we can consider in the future as well, is just a weekly workshop. Anyone can show up and leave whenever they want. it's like office hours for your website.
Wow.
So then the reason we're doing this is, yes, good Samaritans, but let's be real. Here's the fact. We know that the trusted advisors, those who are educators in any space, not everybody is a client, right? They don't do business with everybody, but everybody recognizes them as the ones who disseminate the information. These guys have good information, we trust them. And so to be in that position, there's an investment. And so we've invested in producing this so that at this level, it is straight up giveaway and it is useful and you can see how it can be applied. It is very practical. And if I'm a small business owner, I need to know this stuff and get it from somewhere and I need to know how to do it. That's what this is. If that turns into business with us, like you had said, if the radio station gives away free evidence and then it turns into great. But that's not gonna happen with most of the businesses, but that's fine because we're still getting what we want, which is we're putting out good, valuable information and helping these businesses. They know that it's useful because they're using it. We know it's useful because we know what we're doing with it. That's the business we wanna be. Yep, and that's
And
the
if you
nature.
like, we take all this information that's free and available and build our businesses, then we have more money to be like, help us more.
Well,
Let us
yeah,
know,
community.
you know?
Let's go deeper.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Community
Now let's
drives.
do ads, now let's do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I know like we're a minute over, I'm gonna try to be respectful of everyone's time here. So this chat AI bot, if you use ChatGPT, you're
You show me how you
using
got to it.
version 3, yeah, so up here in the menu, this button here, Ask Joe, that'll take you to the chat. So if you're familiar with ChatGPT, you're using version 3. Version 3 was revolutionary. I think it passed the bar exam in the bottom 10 percentile.
Yeah.
So this is version 4, it's the beta version 4. They gave it the test again, it passed the bar in the top 10th percentile.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
it's better
That's
than most
exactly
lawyers.
right.
And this one has also been trained
That's scary.
specifically
Yeah, that's
around
scary.
marketing.
Yeah.
So you can actually take an AI and train it with specific inputs, and this one has been trained around marketing.
Getting close to
So-
the matrix.
Yeah.
And of course, over in the far right, you got Ask Joe's AI and then Ask Joe. So that's really Joe's cell phone number legitimately. So if you guys send a text message to him and identify who you are, he's volunteered to do this, and this is because it's a relatively small group right now. Any questions, you'd be dealing with a person who is really behind building this out, so you have access to that person if you guys want to talk to the person, they have questions while you're going through this. I don't know how much more we could really give away on that. Joe's private life.
And if I know Joe well, that number won't be up for very long, after he gets a handful of text messages, but you should bug him.
So that's the nuts and bolts of this. As far as getting you guys access to this in the interest of time, is that something that we can do without them having to spend time here right now? They would receive the information that's active?
Yeah, I think we have everyone's email, correct?
I think so.
If we do, then we can do it that way. We're like way over time.
I got a couple more minutes, what's that?
Do you want this group to give you feedback on the presentation itself and stuff like that?
Yes, what we're gonna do is we're gonna forward you guys out just an email that has just a list of questions, and you guys are also have space to just openly say whatever you want to say, because you saw the presentation and you get the gist of the app. You'll be able to get into the app, and once you get in there, you'll probably develop more questions. We will ask some specific questions from you guys about how we can do this better, what things maybe were fuzzy to you, what things you really seized on and said that was really important to me. That's all gonna be very useful information to us. I will ask you this though, before we close up. Would you guys attend or make use of, I get that this is to get you into the app, but once you have it, if you were, say, received an email or something from us that said, hey, here's an aspect of the app about website on Wednesdays, we're gonna be doing this presentation. Would you guys participate in or attend or find useful something like that on a monthly basis, that we're educating you guys on various aspects of this, specifically in an environment kind of like this?
Especially in the first year or two, because, you know, you're getting used to it, you're learning the app, and it's just like just like if you're taking a class or something like that, and then the teacher's got a, you know, an open hour you go in there and talk to them and get answers to questions and stuff. You'll be talking about a specific, item, but then, you know, I would learn from that, and then I might have another question or two about other things that are going on in the app that I could get information from too, so I think it would be valuable.
Yeah.
And I would promote the crap out of it, you know,
Yeah.
no, but it's chamber ambassadors.
Yeah, we're both chamber ambassadors, so like if we get to partner and do this, like super valuable, will also be like, you need to work with that force a little more.
Yeah.
Do you guys have a burning question, by the way, that I feel like this is the best part of the app, and I
How
skipped over it.
how do we get access to that app?
Oh,
No, he
well,
needs
I mean,
for
for
the
the,
shot.
for the marketing.
Oh,
Yeah, go
And
ahead.
I'll send you guys the link
do
to
you,
the app.
Jake? Go for it.
But
That one,
I
Jake?
hate to breeze it over like the most impressive part.
Yeah.
And I know we're over time. but
Is
go
it
ahead.
like
yeah,
Say,
so what-
okay,
what
say
is
this, all right, what is the most effective way to market Sip and Stretch
Here's the,
events
maybe yoga
in Redding,
events?
California?
To market,
what's it called? Sit and
Sit
stretch?
and stretch yoga.
you can say yoga events.
Yeah, yoga events in Redding, California.
Yoga.
It's
Have you
all
ever
join
typed
the
on someone
chamber.
else's machine? It's like you type on one computer for a while, and then you type on someone else's.
Yeah,
I think in social media, it's gonna come back.
that's how I
and
built my whole business, is social media, and I finally just got a website like 2 weeks ago.
There we go. Hi there.
Hey, social media. Partner with local businesses, I do!
Utilize
Community boards, I do!
Leverage email marketing.
I'm-
Overall, keep
yeah.
promoting as much as possible on platforms like online, Reddit, and good luck.
I gotta take a picture of that.
Nice.
What about
It's
that?
pretty good. It's pretty
You're
accurate.
doing all those things already.
Yeah.
It is.
Well, the cool thing is like I'm doing one, but I can always get better, and then I just created my email list. Like I'm like, wow, I don't have any email list sending out people information about my upcoming events, and now I do, but I haven't really done it yet, so great.
Well, of course, once you get this, then you can get granular and take one of them and ask questions about that and just keep expanding on this until you get specifically what you want, even copy it.
And not just that, as you go through the app, you can actually ask better questions. This so far doesn't actually know anything about your business, it's giving you some really general ideas. But you can say, well, I've done this, this, and this, and I haven't done this, this, and this. And
It can
again,
learn, you know?
as you go through the app, you're going to have a lot more information to give this, to give you better information.
Yeah.
Wow.
I've been tinkering with it to write case for support for grant applications and things like that for
Oh, that's
workforce
good.
development programs for chamber, you know, it spits out.
Give you some really good ideas.
Yeah, I use a lot of commas and ands in my sentences when I ask questions to ChatGPT,
Yeah.
and it'll spit out economic data, workforce data, why the chamber is the right organization to facilitate the program, why the money would be leveraged and well spent, you know, all that stuff.
Wow.
So it's pretty amazing, yeah.
This is cool.
It's all in there.
And it happens at the click of a mouse, and then you get it all in a matter of seconds, where it would have taken all
Hours or
day
days or,
to research all of that.
I know an attorney, and I saw him do it right in front of me. I showed him this, and so he was curious, and then he thought about a case he had coming up, and a particular, so he typed in his issue, and it fed back to him, and it basically guided his strategy, what he was
Wow.
going to do in court, which, that's kind of frightening too.
Yeah.
But as for marketing, that's one of the places it really has taken off, and so it's a super valuable tool having this thing in here. That's it in a nutshell. I mean, obviously, we could go miles and miles around this thing. I think this covers sort of the big edges of this. And so, go ahead.
How can we best help you guys? Like, what's your, we'll do the app and test it out and stuff, but,
Advocate, you guys are gonna get into this and have firsthand experiences.
yeah.
And those are real stories about how you did real things, and those are things we tend to share where they're successful. And so I think putting this stuff in your hands and you guys having some successes with your own presence, I think why wouldn't you be sharing that with other people? That's what we typically do. And then if we're able to structure something where we're able to do future events and kind of culminate people who wanna understand this stuff and educate, and get them into the app and then educate with the app, I think that's probably the next piece that's really just to be promoted. And I think that's the answer. And then all that, the education's gonna level, is gonna rise as a curve, and we're gonna see people doing better online, and we're gonna have more successful community as a result of that.
It's amazing.
Good.
Great.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you, sorry for my tardiness.
No,
me too.
right.
Sorry, it was my fault.
We'll get you guys
Find a
access
place
to
to
this.
park, or,
Oh, I walked for a while.
yeah, ChatGPT,
Have you done
I
it?
worry if I haven't really played with it yet. I
Yeah.
really want to. But I think it is pretty interesting because of the kids,
Thanks, Jake. I gotta split.
Absolutely.
Great, thank you for your time today.
Yep, yeah, you got it.
But the kids, if they can write a paper, just by putting a couple words in that, not getting the education, so if
I got
there's, and I know
Okay, so
everybody's
Thank you,
really
Jake.
aware of that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Are you starting stuff?
Into this business fellowship.
I used to work at the Venture Hub,
Okay, oh,
so,
that's where
Our
I see you,
presentation.
back at the old Venture Hub.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah, I used to work up there a lot.
Okay.
Cool.
There's counterintelligence that
Thanks, guys.
can assess papers for the likelihood it was ChatGPT that wrote it.
Right.
And then I guess like, you know Ryan Diedrich in Reddit?